Listen.
This thing is unorganized.
Purpose. No progression.
At least as bad as Russian roulette with 2 bullets in the gun.
There's only one thing we can do, guys.
Marijuana.
Ladies and gentlemen, leaders and fighters for freedom and liberty and the American dream, the best is
Burnout.
Oh, look at this.
Woo!
Hey, little girl, sweet-looking piece of ass like you shouldn't be walking the streets alone at night.
Yeah, who knows what kind of perverts you might run into.
Yeah, but good thing for you, we're not perverts.
Yeah, we're just horny.
Really uncool.
Baby, you know you really
Hey, stop it. Stop it.
Hey! What's going on, man? What's the deal? Look who it is, super wino.
It's okay.
Don't you mind your own business. This is between me and a bitch.
What did you just call me?
Called you a
Don't
bitch. Don't touch him. Leave him alone, man.
I think we should do the city a favor and dump you in the river.
I think we should cut him up and dump him in a river.
Oh, shit. Come on, man. We don't need him. Let's get the hell out of here. Come on.
He ain't real, man. He ain't real.
All right, video burnouts. This week's selection, Vibrations, starring James Marshall and Christina Applegate. Now, normally I would read the contents of the back of the cover, but seeing as how this is a full-length screener for video retailers only, and how there's a number called some 1-800 number you're supposed to call if you buy or rent this movie and report to the authorities because you're not supposed to have it. But anyway, it makes it feel a little bit sexier to know I'm not supposed to have it.
I think you qualify. I've been in video stores that had far less than you have. Options.
Fair enough. So I will read the back of what it says. It won't take long. Sexy Christina Applegate heats up the screen. Sizzling star power. Hot high-energy soundtrack. Extensive trailering.
It's very extensive trailering. Yes. This movie's been trailered to shit.
Oh, trailered up and down and all around.
And we can buy a lovely shirt. So, you know, hey, what more do you want out of a
That's actually
release?
A Pulp Fiction shirt deal.
Even better. You think I wanted a Vibrations shirt? I will gladly send in the back of this box for a Pulp Fiction shirt.
And cap.
Oh, man.
For only $45 1990s money.
Oh, man.
That's
Quentin
like
Tarantino
$2,000
really needs
now.
that money now.
Wow. Yep. So, yeah, you got an advertisement to buy a shirt for a different movie on the back of this movie. I think that's a great sign. So we don't have the back, the normal boilerplate thing to go by on the back of the cover. So how would you describe this movie if you were going to write that boilerplate thing for the back of the cover?
The story of Def Leppard. This is definitely how I would describe it.
Insensitive.
Is that too soon? Is that too soon?
You caught me off guard with that one. That was good. That was good.
So yeah, basically, wannabe rock star loses both his hands in a tragic machinery accident.
It wasn't really an accident.
I mean, tomato sort of thing.
Could have got out of the car.
Yeah, he could have not put his hands up to protect himself.
So, yeah, before we get that far, Ed, then...
Yeah. He loses his hands. Do you just want me to, like, make up a back of the box?
That's what I was hoping
for.
for.
Okay. So, future legend T.J. Carey, on the night of his big breakout show, gets into a horrible accident where he loses both his hands, sending him into a spiral. Can anyone pull him out? Maybe the lovely and sexy Christina Applegate.
Yeah, you do a better job than most of these people who do it for a living.
Well, I can't sell a Pulp Fiction shirt, so I got to rely on my wits.
How would you assess this particular piece of cinema, Jay?
I mean, honestly, I would, if it comes down to it, I would personally write on the back of the box. I take that back. I'm not surprised that I would ever find a movie that's worse than We Are Your Friends.
So what are you saying? I need to amp it up?
What's up? I'm Cole Carter.
128 beats per minute. That's the magic number.
You were good out there. You really know how to work a crowd.
But it is truly wrong for there to be 2 in existence rave movies. We're not going to count Seamless, even though that's supposed to be a techno movie. It really isn't. What was that one Love one? That other
Oh yeah,
movie?
the German one.
Oh, that's awful.
With Bruno Ganz.
Oh my
yeah,
God.
I know Barbara Schroeder directed it, but I
So
can't. Or
bad.
Barbette, but I cannot remember the name of that
Insomnia or
one.
something like that. It might be like
I
the
don't
third
remember.
Insomnia.
Eric, you got that? I'll get it. Barbette Schroeder directed it. That's probably the easiest way to get there.
Okay.
Oh, let me see. I'll probably do this faster. Let me see. Amnesia.
The night is young.
Yeah. That's what I said.
yeah.
So yeah, Amnesia.
yes.
The third
Yes.
the
That
third
was
bad
the one Ray
Amnesia,
told us
which
about.
is not the worst Amnesia, and it's not the worst techno movie. But anyways, so I would have thought there'd be worse techno movies, but I had never thought I'd sit through one. And here we are.
A rare subgenre of movie.
Here we are, and I'm not going to say more about the techno aspect because I'm sure my feelings will slowly come to bear as we go through this. But yeah, Needless. It's the opening scene. If I might as well I'm going to take it.
Rocket, man, do it.
Blast
opening
off.
scene is a guy. Let me paint the picture. Have you ever gotten a 1980s or 90s guitar tutorial video? How to play guitar? Because you used to not be able to click on YouTube and figure out who was an idiot or not. And every one of those tapes, every one of them, opened up with the music that you hear at the beginning.
Hi there, my name is Ray Hitchens.
Hi everybody, thanks for joining me on this video.
Welcome to Senor Pablo's terrifying guitar trip.
Picking and fingering?
Oil the nut.
Expand to things beyond. What I do.
And
So,
you don't know what it is right now.
right with my foot.
Okay, that's why I'm going to spend $150 for the Megami Platinum 12-foot guitar cable.
Why the A?
Okay, that's just a little something I wanted to throw in for you.
Yep.
It's this guy that thinks he's a rock star. Somebody thought he was a rock star. And he's just hamming it around with his band. A lot of guitars. Think it's a Strat. You know, that's fine.
His dad shows up.
Cops show up.
Cops show up.
You got a warrant? I mean, who do you think you are entering the inner sanctum of the soon-to-be legendary T.J. Cray?
This is too much.
But it's his dad who's got a newspaper article telling him how great he's going to be.
I don't think he ever made it to the front page of the Daily.
All right. Yeah! Very cool.
Give him hell, TJ, and take no prisoners.
Oh, wait.
Noise ordinance.
I have to mention that newspaper article because it does bear a bit on the proceedings of the plot and whatnot. Local band on hot track was the headline of the local paper.
Yeah.
Local band on hot track. That would make the journalism professors of my youth very very proud.
Yeah, it's a classy title.
I just had to throw that in there. Sorry to interrupt.
I really like the relationship with the dad and the kid. I feel like the easy way to do that is to have the dad be the cop and then to be like you're fucking up your whole life. What is this noise? And then like hitting him on the head or whatever. And I'm going to prove to you, Dad. But I actually really liked that, like, the dad, that's a relationship you don't often see in these sorts of movies, is that the dad clearly doesn't like the music. He doesn't really get the scene, but it comes across that he loves his kid.
He's still supportive in a very begrudging sort of way.
Yeah, but in like a very warm way, I thought.
To the credit of the director, they didn't get too far away from being a cop, though.
Yeah.
Because he says, take no prisoners. It's like, I don't feel like that's what a cop...
That is not their motto.
Take no prisoners. It's like... Maybe it wasn't as hot of a moment in 96.
Maybe if he was handing him his gun. But
kneeling on his head.
Yeah.
Whatever.
But that I think a lot of credit goes to that actor Stephen Keats, who plays the dad and has been in like a lot of really class movies, the sorts of movies you won't be seeing on our program, like Death Wish, Friends of Eddie Coyle, just playing general street tough, wise sort of dudes. Sadly, and that's why I wanted to mention him. This was his last movie. This was how he went out on. Yeah, wow. Character actor hell. That's how they all go out. You always got to go out on your back.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, I like that part. I like that relationship between them.
So that's the highlight of the film, and we're 2 minutes in.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I think so. Yeah, these early parts were probably my favorite bits of the movie. I loved the chase. So he goes over, he bangs his girlfriend in a series of very television-looking apartments. I thought every apartment looked like the set of Friends.
Well, they seem to be going for the Friends thing when he gets to Christina Applegate's place.
Yeah, the Island of Misfit Toys sort of place.
It's
which makes sense because this movie has like television royalty. Like James Marshall's the lead. He's in Twin Peaks, of course, and then Christina Applegate got famous off Married with Children, and then Faye Grant plays, I think, the person who works with metal.
Xena, the landlord who has the iron working facilities
somewhere
in her home,
in the apartment. She's from V. So really, it's like this movie is television loyalty.
Where do I know the landlord lady from? Is from V. That's what it is. Thank you for that.
So yeah, he goes over to his girlfriend's house, and we get the exciting chase scene. Zoe, why don't you go ahead and describe the chase scene?
He's in an 89 Toyota Corolla hatchback. I only know because that's the car I moved to Austin in.
Oh, God. Now I feel so much worse to you.
Shape than that car. I don't know that that's exactly which car it is, but it, from the side, looked exactly the same, and I assume it would react the same to heavy machinery. So let's say...
Yeah, so he...
So it's like a very personal moment.
Very tiny hatchback car. Rockstar car, obviously.
Obviously.
It, so, that's
it's a personal moment for you because it's like you as you are now in your car being accosted by how you were like only a few years before you moved to Austin.
Okay. I see what tonight's going to be. All right.
So this is the part that gets me. Like, this is the biggest gig of his life, supposedly. And he oversleeps. So
sex will do that to you.
So he's late.
I was just resting my eyes.
He's late. He's in a hurry. He jumps in his glorious chariot that we just discussed. And okay, so then what happened was the road was closed. The way he knew how to get there was closed. And then because this pickup truck full of, how should we describe these characters?
Midwest high schoolers.
Drunken rednecks would be another possible.
I said Midwest high school.
So for reasons that are not
Philly cast-offs,
for reasons that don't make any sense to me or very little sense to me, they decide to play road rage weirdo games with this hatchback, and in the course of that, he misses his detour. It's a scene that takes like 1 second, but I guess if the rednecks hadn't distracted him, he might have gotten his detour, and none of this ever would have happened. But anyway. So they corner him in like a construction area.
Well, half the way through, you start like, do they really need him laying on the horn like that?
Yeah.
Just,
oh, well, that's the thing, is that the horn was stuck. Yeah. He wasn't trying to blast them with the horn constantly. The horn was malfunctioning to where... Have you ever had a car do that? That's a pain in the ass.
No, but I've never had a
That is a real pain in the
81
butt.
hatchback. Whatever that was.
So anyway, the truck corners him in some kind of construction area, and he can't get the car started. And they jump out, and they're all having a really good time, bashing his windows in and kicking in his taillights.
It's brutal.
Brutal. They immediately go to just fucking up this
Smashing
guy's
it.
ride.
So either there's a backstory of them hating him, and they know each other on that level, which they do know who he is. Because
Do
they're
they?
saying some stuff whenever they're around the car. That feels very pointed. They say there's like one about something rock star something. That's the way it sounded to me.
Okay.
So,
I didn't catch that.
I did not catch that either.
Who knows?
Interesting.
I rewound it twice and it's like, yeah, he says rock star, but
Okay.
I don't know if
Okay.
maybe I'm wrong, but that's the way I picked it up. And luckily, one of them knows how to drive heavy machinery.
Yeah.
So when you think, I mean, are they trying to beat his ass and he just won't get out of the car?
That's the thing. It does not make sense. What do these drunken teenagers from the Midwest of our great land want?
Man, if your car's getting beat that much, just get out and let them act like they knock you out after a couple kicks, man.
Yeah, Yeah, I mean, why did he stay in the car? I don't understand. Why did the drunken hillbillies keep escalating the violence?
Yeah.
It didn't seem to have a purpose or a cause.
Well,
or
because
make
of
any
movie.
sense.
You're
because
forgetting. Because
the
of
plot
movie.
needed some conflict and some
He
drama.
has to lose his hands, and it can't be in a non-dramatic fashion.
So the backhoe, like I've never driven a backhoe.
Jay,
have you?
Yes.
Okay, well then
you're not gonna jump in one, but let's assume they're from the Midwest. They know how to do it.
Yeah, I just
You know?
assume the Midwest is covered in like blue-collar
It's
James
just-
Bonds, like any sort of
You
concrete
drive to-
truck. I got it.
You drive to school in a tractor and you walk home dribbling a basketball, man. That's every day. That's about all there is to it. You just kind of know. For what it's worth about a tractor, I don't know too many people that could just jump in one, start it up, work the equipment, and turn around. But who knows? Maybe they were on the abandoned road because they just got off their shift.
I could totally
You
buy
know?
that. That's one of their jobs.
Yeah.
like they're. Yeah, I can buy that.
And the film just skates through it. So, so
As it does pretty much any sort of conflict.
he gets
it
the
to.
backhoe. Now the car at this point, he's unhooked all the wires and he's trying to start the car still.
He's trying to start the car, but he's also trying to get the horn to quit blaring.
So he gets the horn to quit
He
blaring
does
by
do
pulling
that,
the
yeah.
wire. And he's trying to start the engine. It's real dramatic. It's real dramatic scene. And won't let it go. I mean, at some point you got to see what's going on and just go, but whatever. On the front of the tractor is a concrete plowing pick or whatever. That's not the technical
Yeah,
term, whatever.
those giant
Whatever it is.
things.
Jackhammer type of thing that's on the front of it, which he puts through the middle of the hood.
The engine is there, right?
All the way through it. They show underneath the car. They show this giant thing fucking stab through.
That car is done, man. You ain't making it to the gig in that thing.
Although they have the engine running for like another 20 seconds or so before, the sound of it. It's like, yes, I don't think, what I know. We'll have to try it out sometime. Can we use your car, Zoe? Figure it out. Puts it through there, and everybody's laughing and having their good time about it. Then he decides he's going to put it through the top. And nobody of the five says, hey, man, maybe chill.
Maybe we shouldn't
fucked up.
murder this guy right here and right now. Maybe that's not the thing to do. No,
And,
nobody even suggested it.
He still isn't trying to get out of the car. He just lays down across the...
He holds
front.
onto the steering wheel.
Yes, he does. That was not
He
a
won't
great
fight.
choice.
He like leans all the way down, but he just keeps both hands on the steering wheel because he's going to drive away at any moment.
But that's basically where the scene ends, which opens up to a hospital room, and we get the lovely, what does he say? Oh, my hands feel like they're burning, and they have the,
how do we tell him?
It's a dramatic, it's like soap opera drama, and except they only show one hand, I guess, for whatever reason, but it's just this stub. He's like doing this thing, and it's got the tape around it. And I love it.
My hands burn really bad. Dad?
So
he, of course, freaked out by that, and so he's got to start going to physical therapy, where they give him these god awful fucking fake hands. He loses his hands, but in this moment he gains his power of apparently having extended arms. So now he's got fake hands but longer arms, and the hands are like it's the Terminator. They're a metal endoskeleton but with flesh over the top of them. Completely unstoppable.
At least that's the way they explained to us anyways.
Yeah, they got a long thing, but this is, I mean, I get it. Back then they didn't have great prostheses like the ones they have now where you can like hook up and they can still move with your thoughts. And this one, he has to somehow, I assume this is accurate. I don't know shit about any of this. It just seems like it sucks. He has to bend the hands into the shape of a cup and then force that on there and then use the other hand to wrap it and then pick up the cup with both hands, put the cup down, unhook one hand and then completely cover the cup and yank the other hand off. They have like no movement to them at all. They just stick.
In this scene, our lead actor offers nothing. He's not mad that he's in the situation, lost his hands, which he kind of alludes to in one little type of thing, but he's not stressed out by doing it either. It's like a non-factor scene.
Yeah.
And you just cup your hand like this and go, it's like, man.
Then he drops it and he's just like,
that's it.
I feel like as we get deeper into this, that's going to be my biggest issue with this movie is the way it creates drama or conflict and then finds the easiest way to get out of it, like constantly. This movie is felt more like a Lifetime movie than the Lifetime movie we did, Invisible Child. Yeah, this one feels a lot like that, but with cool music for the kids. So just like in creating conflict quickly and erasing it, soon after this, his dad can't find the criminals. His girlfriend goes to see him. He's still distraught. And then we get one of my favorite moments in the movie where she's like, oh, I missed you. And they're making out. And he goes, oh, and he touches her head with the hand. And she's like, it reminded me so much of Buster Bluth at Arrested Development. They're like, oh, hey, monster, brother. They're like, that is so much. In fact, all the clips from this show just need to be of Buster Bluth smashing his hand through things with his hook.
I'd forgotten about that plotline.
So after she flinches, he does what every person who just lost a member of their body. He mentions having sex with just the stump.
Yeah.
You want the thrill of your life?
God, TJ, no!
Stumped? I know I am.
Stumped? I know I am.
So insensitive still.
Yeah, very much.
The film is not seeing it through the lens of somebody struggling with the loss of their hands. It kind of really more is a past judgment on homeless people. If anything.
At a certain point, yeah.
Which is
alcoholism is in there too.
Which is where the film immediately goes.
Yeah, immediately.
Like the girlfriend flinches and then he's homeless on the street.
Of New York City, it looks like.
And he's not even like just homeless. When we finally cut to him being homeless, it's clear he's been homeless for a while.
Yeah.
He's developed an alcohol problem, which he kind of barely slurs his words a few times. Again, we don't want anything too iffy. Is that no. That's he's drinking. That's it. He's drinking cheap liquor. This is bad.
Well, these are still in the days of functioning alcoholics.
It's true.
So we don't point fingers. You know.
You get a call from the cop dad. He's like, he's been missing for a month.
Okay, there you go. So in a month he learns how to. I guess you grew up fast on the streets. That makes some sense.
A month. That's the time frame?
It does feel like it's been years.
Yes.
He's stealing from homeless people. Like he's that far down at this point.
You don't get the shakes in a month.
That's a good point. Yeah.
I know.
I've tried, and this doesn't work that way.
That's why we have to take a break every 10 minutes.
No, that's why I do sporadic benders. I don't want it to show, so I use my month of vacation time and just bury myself in the bottle and then get clean for 3 months and do it again, man.
Do 6 or 7
It's
podcast
the healthy
episodes and then
way
you're
of
off.
doing it. Yeah, we're good. We're good. Don't judge the drinker.
It's functioning.
It's functioning, man.
So he breaks in. So being homeless, he breaks into an abandoned building. I loved this part, and crawls into just an old cardboard box, cradling his like bottle of stolen hooch, only to find out that this building only looked abandoned. It's actually a rave that got set up and started just around him. They didn't even make him pay a cover. This is like the coolest
That's the
rave
coolest
ever.
way to crash a rave I ever thought of.
Yeah. You're already like
seen.
ready to go. You're homeless and drunk. You're perfect for a rave.
It's obviously in a warehouse basement. I like how he sleeps like totally in the open in the cardboard box.
Yeah.
Like when you turn that around or whatever, man, you know.
He's lost so much dignity.
Very nonchalant. I think we do see him trying to rob another guy that's passed out on the sidewalk. I think that
He takes his liquor from him.
Oh,
Yeah.
the liquor. I
Yeah.
couldn't tell if it was the liquor or the wallet, but yeah. Okay.
So yeah, he wakes up there, and then he finally meets the lovely Christina Applegate.
Christina Applegate. That brings me to a question that puzzles me about this movie, and has before and does now and will perhaps always. How and why is Christina Applegate in this movie?
I agree. So as we get to know her, we find out that she's like a very she's a hippie, basically.
But a 90s new age hippie.
A 90s new age hippie. She's changing her name constantly.
Karma.
Always talking about vibrations.
Karma. And I don't think Christina Applegate's like a bad actress. I don't know if she's like a particularly unique one.
Don't tell mom she's really good.
Yeah, she's
good at
Bad
stuff.
Mom, she's fine in that, you know. But it's
Yeah, Anchorman. She's fun in
Yeah.
Anchorman. Like, but she is not. She's not a transformative actress. She's never like somebody completely different.
she plays this one dead on with the way Jennifer Aniston would have.
Yeah, no,
And
definitely.
same quality.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't drop the ball. She's given a lot of lines that are really kind of ridiculous to have to give off, and she doesn't lose the film. Although, we already mentioned the rave part, so let's just put an asterisk. I will say, if anybody wants a true to life glimpse into what the rave crowd culture is like, they actually do a good job of blending my impression of what rave culture crowd is like. Because, I mean, Zoe used to have a roommate that was really into raves that I ended up, hey man, come out, check this thing out. And I mean, my 3 times out was enough of changing their
Exposure.
name all the time, speaking about the rocks, being able to heal you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Which, you know, we're here. I would like to pitch my reality show while COVID's still around. I do think we should get a religious person and a person that believes in the healing of rocks and just an existentialist together and see which one of them can heal a person fastest on live TV.
Or see which one of them could keep just the patient alive long enough.
And I'm not. That's a cheap dig. I care less what people are really into. But anyways, the rave culture that we get, just she's the cornerstone of it. And she changes her name. She has the creepy part with her manager right when she walks in. And he gives her shit about changing her name.
Yeah, and I feel that she is like, again, to go like the whole new age hippie thing, Christina Applegate just has like kind of an uptight persona in a way. I kept thinking that going back to the whole like TV royalty thing, that and with all the apartments looking like Friends, Lisa Kudrow, who plays Phoebe in Friends, that's really who can like do this role believably, more believably. Somebody like that, somebody who you would really believe would bring a homeless person home to live with them because they could be nice and all that. I just don't buy that with Christina Applegate's persona. She seems way too put together, way like I said,
too
a little
guarded.
Yeah.
Also, I think that, I mean, they cast her obviously, but that's was her big thing going to film, was trying to get away from the ditzy blonde, you know. So obviously she's not going to play it any less than what she did. But yeah, I mean, every character is flat.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and definitely so. And they're hardly given anything. But so they're at the rave. He bumps into her basically, and she's like, just need some air. You need some air. The exit's that way, which seems like just a really nice way of being like,
you're homeless.
Oh, you're
get out of here."
homeless. You clearly don't belong here. But no. She, Anamika, she really believes it. She has the scene with her manager, Barry, I think, who I actually thought Bruce Alton. I actually thought he was like one of the better parts of the movie. I liked his performance.
He's been really good in pretty much anything he's in.
Yeah, he's a solid character actor, and I thought one of the more believable, fun characters.
I thought
in
he was
this
pretty
movie.
scummy.
Yeah, and
he only has like 3 lines in the film.
Does not have a lot of seeds, but he does a good job making that character. He's even funny at the end. So anyway, he wants to bang her again, or wants to just date her, but she knows it's just about sex.
And she's not feeling the energy anymore.
Just check out the energy. It's not there. No. Shh. Just feel it.
Yeah, feel this energy. Come here and feel this. There's just
well, if that's
here.
your attitude, we're done. Well, then we both can agree on that.
Yeah.
Gotta agree on something.
I know, it's like His Girl Friday when those two meet up.
Yes,
it's fantastic. So the rave, she leaves the rave, and on her way home gets accosted by 2 nicely dressed thugs.
They're wearing slacks, weren't they?
They're wearing
You
slacks.
need to watch out for perverts. Lucky for you, we're just horny.
Yeah. Which, I mean, to their credit, that's a great line.
Explains why they're so well dressed.
Yeah. They're just horny. We'll I don't know. There's jokes to be made, but so
it was very Wonder Woman 84 or whatever.
Oh, okay.
That's what that felt like. The 2 guys following her down the alley, but instead of a superhero showing up to teach them a lesson, we have our homeless rock star alcoholic.
Long arm, no hand man.
Long arm, no hand.
Which is a good to compare it to a superhero movie, because this is the one of 2 instances in which having no hands will be a superpower for him.
Okay, yeah.
Because he breaks them up. One of these nicely dressed, not perverts, pulls out a switchblade and just stabs him right through his fucking hand. Yeah, he just blocks it with his hand. It doesn't flinch, which is enough to send. I guess if they were perverts, they would have stayed around and beat the shit out of him. But being upstanding gentlemen, they flee into the night at seeing somebody take a knife to the hand and not react.
And one of them says to the other one, that guy's not real, man. You got to listen carefully, but yeah, he says it.
Which doesn't seem, if you're the type of person that carries a switchblade and has got bad intentions following a woman at night, I feel like you were already planning on stabbing that guy when you tried to stab him. I don't understand maybe because the knife came out of his hand and suddenly he realized he was incompetent for the fight. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, again.
Did he even get his knife back?
No. He
pulls it out with his sheath.
Yeah.
Free switchblade.
Yeah. So again, the movie sets up a conflict which could be like a big conflict, but it is resolved very, very quickly.
What happens immediately after the fight is on, and they turn and talk to each other, and he says, "I'll walk you home," and then immediately the love music starts.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can't hear their conversation; it's just a swoony piano of walking hand in hand off into the distance. It's like they had to, we had no idea this was going to be the love interest. We had no idea it was going to happen.
Thanks for the reveal.
Very Lifetime movie. And the score, very Lifetime movie. For a movie that started with like an appropriate electronic score that I think was like terrible. But
if you're hanging out at Guitar Center, yes.
Yeah. I mean, it's not, none of it is great, but it is appropriate for the movie they're making.
Yes.
The Lifetime, I don't even fucking know how to describe that. It's terrible. Yeah, it's weird. It's very weird. So they get to the apartment, and she asks him if he wants a drink.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, so he could go up and hang out in her apartment, which again is just like...
No, if you want something to eat.
If you want something to eat.
Oh, yeah, and then what does she serve him? A tuna fish sandwich with some orange juice?
Something like that.
That's a sweet combination right there.
In her very friend's apartment.
Go wash up.
Yeah, and so he goes and gets in the bathtub and passes. He's drinking his bottle, and he passes out in the tub, and she tries to wake him up, and he won't wake up or something like that.
The water is filthy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she's going to kick him out, but then she sees like...
The prosthetic hand.
The prosthetic hand, and she touches it. And then she's like,
hang on, this is the other prosthetic hand. This is the not glove prosthetic hand. These are my favorite because this is kind of the moment where it shifts from having to see the hands outside of it to this rubber kind of gardening gloves painted flesh, I guess. You can probably get them at any fetish store, I imagine. Well, he's got, which is the most ridiculous thing. Like they don't even, and they've done a bad job up till then trying to sell this thing, but it's, you can see how the plastic's like flipping up on his hand, you know? Oh my God, it's so bad.
That's when he has short arms.
So
he gets to stay the night, and the next day we meet the Motley Crew. Which I call like a straight rent is what I think of from these people.
Okay, I was thinking it's like Can't Hardly Wait. Like you got every character from Can't Hardly Wait, but in like 4 seconds.
So my personal favorite had to be Simeon.
Simeon
in his hat.
Come on, I promise I won't do it again. Mika asked me to give you this. We're from upstairs. And you're banned from the booster. Oh, come on, give me the box back. No, Simeon, I developed this for outside concerts. I made that perfectly clear, but once again, you've proven you cannot be trusted. Now that hurt. That truly hurt. I swear I won't. You are so full of shit. I won't happen again. I just couldn't wait to check it out, man.
Damn. Hey, you guys, what happened?
Which that hat is very, very tiptoesy.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of hats, this is a real, festival of stupid hats. This entire movie, and each hat is dumber than the last, and that's what I like about '90s movies.
I don't know, that one in the kitchen, the tiptoes hat is the one that I can.
That is an all-time bad hat.
It's so in Tiptoes, Kate Beckinsale refused to do the film unless she could wear her lucky hat,
and then
which we had seen 3 times before we knew anything about that. But we, in between then, had been talking about how ugly. Well, Zoe says the worst hat in film history. It's this '90s crocheted thing that's got 2 little socks off of it,
and it's like purple or something.
I think you're gonna let me know that everyone in your family's a midget.
They're not midgets, Carol. They're dwarfs.
Whatever.
Yeah, I don't remember color, but I do remember that
it was so dumb looking.
If I was buried in it, everybody knows
it just sucked all the attention from everything else going on the screen. I just could not do anything but focus.
Well, that's
how much I hated that hat.
Gary Oldman crawling around on his knees where you can see his feet behind him. Still, you're thinking about the hat. Ridiculous. So, anyways, this hat is basically just a modified version of that because it hangs down to like the middle of your back,
and it's got a glove.
It's got a glove.
It's a glove. Yeah.
I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if it was just a glove that he stretched and put over like the wrist part of it over the top of his head. I don't know.
A woman's mind is very important to me.
But it was definitely just a big hand on the back of his head. I guess going with the theme of, losing your hands and therefore life, being unable to control your life spinning out of control.
I love the way your breasts heave when you get angry.
It's a powerful statement.
I like to imagine that off camera he flipped out about how fake the plastic hand looked. He's like, look, I can pull it over my head. And then it's an action.
The director was like, oh, that's perfect.
We weren't sure what we wanted to do with that ugly hat. Now it's fixed.
So I like Geek.
Yeah.
Geek is cool. He's like wannabe Rick Moranis.
Yes, clearly.
Builds lots of technical things that'll come back much later. But right now he's built is this outdoor box that'll play music really loudly outdoors, but should not be used indoors because it's like a Tesla machine. It'll create a fucking earthquake in your house if you use it.
I hate when that happens.
Oh, don't we all? We call them earthquakes.
And we refer to this box like a good 8 times in the film.
Yeah.
So that's...
And for a movie, we know it's going to pay off well in this movie because everything else has.
The box itself is what, like that big? It's like 2 shoe boxes maybe?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So he's a real scientist.
He's going to do something pretty incredible later on in the movie.
Come to find out, it's like one of those, like the original version of like a home studio sub.
Yeah.
Like that's like the early model for, dude, it'll kill you if you turn the bass all the way up.
I told you not to use that. God, you'll bring the whole house down.
Yeah.
So our hero, after meeting everyone, and Faye Grant, the landlord metal worker, decides he's gonna slip a little $20.
Hang on, let's just let's go back up about the landlord, because you can't let it slide that she compares a homeless person to being less than pets.
Yeah.
Let's just
she is kind of, in her first scene, she's just like a total bitch to everyone.
Yeah.
And who the hell is this?
It's just some wino Mika found.
Oh, that's perfect. Your bimbos, her winos. I guess I should put up more signs around here. Obviously, no pets allowed doesn't cover it.
Xena.
You know.
And I think she's referring not like the pets thing. I felt she wasn't only referring just to him, but also to Simeon's two ladies that he's with that are just women that somehow this kind of douche has
plays techno.
Yeah, you can totally bang twin sisters when you're rocking techno. You don't want to split up a pair.
They're sisters. It's not right to break up a set.
Yeah, I said twin
He
sisters.
does. So I'm sure that's why we were talking about Rockula before. I'm sure Dean Cain was what I was thinking of whenever I was.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
That guy reminds me a lot of like a Dean Cain. He's played the same type of Dean Cain role. Or not Dean Cain. The guy from Ski. Is it Dean Cain? Dean Cameron.
Dean Cameron.
Dean Cameron. Not Dean Cain. Not the KFC
Not Superman.
love story. Yes. Dean Cameron from Rockula.
Or is it Cameron Dean?
Gee, Mr. Rapula, you're awfully glib.
She made me a dish called the Huevos de Rapula, made with garlic and eggs and a gold-plated spatula. You can read the commentary by William Sapphire. He's the DJ, I'm the vampire.
Yeah, I can't remember what I was saying. Yeah, he bangs the sisters. Hot. That guy's whole look is very weird to me. Like, he does not seem to... He seems... Everybody, again, the whole like television feel of it is everybody seems too well put together for the stage of life they're supposed to be in at this time.
So where were we?
So he steals $20.
Or he tries to steal.
Yeah, tries
$20,
to steal
but
$20.
she walks in on him and catches him, and she's obviously very upset by that.
She gives him $20,
and but says just go away and stay that way.
Which then leads to a long period that I'm not exactly sure why he gets it into his head that he has to make up to her.
He says he'll give her the money back.
Yeah.
So he needs it for alcohol. But then he's going to raise $20 more to pay her back on it.
And so he panhandles and gets some money. I don't know if it's $20 or not.
Let's assume it is.
Which he takes off his hands for.
Which I like.
Yeah.
I like that. He holds the cup with his stumps and then he puts his fake hands in his back pocket, which I could just imagine everybody like, oh, this poor man dropping some bucks in there and walking back
wait.
like, what the fuck is that? You
already
got hands
fake
right there. Hey.
You ain't collecting to buy fake hands.
You got
already
more hands than
some.
I do. You got hands, you can put them in your pockets. That's what New York's like.
That's what they say.
Been watching The Sopranos.
It's a very
lately,
rough
so
state.
You're on.
So yeah, he raises $20.
So he goes back to the diner to give it to her.
Where he knows where she is.
Yeah, where he's accosted again.
Somehow he knows where she is. That's a good point.
Yeah. Somehow he knows she's there. And he's told to like get out, basically. A cup of coffee and then you're gone.
Instantly.
Yeah. And
he tries to give the money back, but then he spills it all over the place.
They have an argument.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she just bolts.
What are they arguing about? I can't remember.
She's still... I believe she's still just like...
Won't forgive him for stealing the money.
Yeah, sees him as just being shitty, which he was.
Yeah.
And he just dumps a bunch of change and is like, it's 20 if you count it. So she bolts, taking the merch that she's got for tonight's show. And the cook is like... The cook tries to steal his money, kind of. The cook's like, you leave that money there and then you get out of here.
If you try to touch that, I'll throw you out of here.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not going to leave my money. No, leave that money and get out of here. But luckily for our handless hero, the cook sucks and starts a fire.
Bad.
Well, the cook comes out to strong arm him, comes around the counter, and then
in the process of doing so,
5-gallon pot.
He kicks over a cooking pot that lands on a gas pipe that somehow ignites.
Fire starts spewing out, and we get the second instance.
Yeah, if this sounds like an exciting moment, it's not.
None of these are.
It's not. It's the same thing as the switchblade thing. It is done with such careless focus.
Either you leave that money, or I'm gonna drag you out of here unconscious. Oh, shit! Get away from me, you dumb-nappy! What are you doing? Don't touch that, you dumb-nappy! Stop! What are you doing? Are you... Are you all right?
Again, nothing can get too intense here. This is
It's like there were more intense scenes on Charles in Charge. Like, this is...
We need to have that as like our FBI warning at the beginning of each episode that if this seems like fun, it's not.
It's not.
It's not. Yeah. If any of this seems entertaining, it's disclaimer.
Now, he is now our hero, about to go into action again.
Yeah, with his superpower.
This, I feel like, it's a driving exam. Do you A, because your hands can't burn, reach across and turn off the gas? B, look for the fire extinguisher because it's a restaurant and they have to have a fucking fire extinguisher. C, find something powder-like to pour on it to put out. Or the fucking one that nobody ever checks, put your fire-burning hands into the flame and snuff it out slowly.
Well, if you have only big plastic hands, I feel you really only have one of those options. I really wish it'd been him like running around the store getting the fire extinguisher. Damn it! Like some sand to pour on it. And it's just
slipping through his fingers. But then he gets the idea that he can just manually snuff it out.
But it is slow.
Yeah,
it's like, no, what are you doing, man? No,
that guy's crazy.
So then they let him get his money, and he's about to leave. But then he picks up a bundle of T-shirts that Christina Aguilera or whatever her had Applegate. My bad. Had left behind as part of her mercurchandise. Right?
Yeah.
And so that was like his entree, his ticket to get back into
a stack of VH shirts. I was like, why does he have a bunch of Van Halen shirts? That's what I thought it was. And I couldn't figure out which DJ would have been the VH, but
late period Van Halen, he got into some of that
techno.
Yeah.
This was like post Twister.
Yeah,
he's like, well, we basically already did it, so we'll just do it with a keyboard and less talent, and
that's what the kids are into.
Some talent. Oh my god.
But if you're a DJ, all you need is a laptop, some talent, and one track.
I'm gonna save all that.
I was gonna say, let's not cross streams.
We're gonna do that movie soon. Not soon, I hope. But
what a wicked double feature that was.
Oh man.
But you do. You're thinking that the whole time. All you need is one shot, some talent,
and a pair of hands,
and a pair of hands. And a nerdy friend.
Okay, so he's got the T-shirts, and this is where I start to lose track of exactly what happened.
Christina, you almost got me. Christina Applegate is supposed to be this super nice person, right?
Yeah.
She ain't having it when he brings them shirts back.
No.
Middle of the dance floor, he falls to his knees.
He can't get up.
And he can't get up because he's trying to hold the shirts. And I mean, I imagine getting up with fake hands is a goddamn worth helping somebody up, like we all need some help sometimes.
Especially
not
with fake
her
hands.
Man, she just fucking stands over him like she's got
Thanks
about
for
as
the
much motivation
shirts.
to help as the grandpa and Willy Wonka did to get out of bed without money. Like he's just not can't do it today. But she did say something earlier about him needing to pull himself out of where he was at, that it was his duty to. But it's not really, that scene isn't laid out like she's teaching him that you need to get up on your own.
Yeah, no, it's definitely just her being like, oh, this guy again, which I kind of get. He's totally the creep in this situation at this point, I feel.
Sure.
He's offered her the money, she has turned it down, you fucked up, you move on.
He got naked and passed out in her bathtub the night before, stole $20 off.
Stole $20. Like delivering the shirts is nice, but you should probably just leave those with the doorman.
Yeah. There's no reason he had to give them to her personally. Yeah. Not really.
So she takes the shirts, and is it at this point when he quits drinking? Because that's my favorite joke in the whole movie. Is this when he goes back out and he goes to the liquor store? And the guy's like, $4. How do you know what I want? I haven't said anything. Oh, I'm sorry. We're out of the champagne.
Chateau Labriand. The Rothschild.
And then he buys this drink, which he's fitted his hand around.
Which looks, I mean, it's probably Mad Dog, but it looks very similar to the Street Trash drink.
Oh, without doubt.
Viper. It looks
yeah,
like he's got
Tenafly
a
Viper.
Nice bottle of Viper.
Oh, if only
That
this had
would've made
turned
this
Street
movie.
Trash.
That would have been
amazing. But this is my favorite moment from the movie because he's warped his hand around this bottle, which we've learned is not an easy thing to do. This hand like has real grip once you fold it, and he's like he drinks it, and then he sees himself in the mirror, and he's just like, I won't be this person anymore.
To reflect, he's on the sidewalk.
Yeah, he looks into like the glass of
a store window or something.
He's like, I won't be this person anymore. And then he throws the bottle down, but we cut to the insert of the bottle, and his hand is still holding it. So clearly, like he can't just toss it down. He has to go. And then just walk away. It's the easier way to get his hand unwrapped around is he has to they could have just done it against a wall and it would have looked badass. But no, he has to lean all the way down and smash it against the ground. It's my favorite part of the entire movie. That was hilarious.
The director's like, no, the bottle has to hit on the ground. That's what they do, whatever they put it's like, well, all right, fine, we'll make it happen.
Could we not have the hand in it? Could we just assume he threw it? No. Those hands. We've established that he can't use them well. He had no problem tying up that robe earlier, but he's got a big trouble letting go of a bottle later on.
So he basically immediately goes from there to Christina Applegate's apartment.
Where is she's moving stuff, and he's like hiding behind it. I can't. I looked away for a second.
Is the apartment part of the warehouse, or those are separate
I believe
locations?
so.
Separate locations.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
But anyway, she's moving stuff. She stumbles upon him. Who cares?
Yeah.
And he's got the shakes, as we pointed out, after a month of heavy
she found
drinking.
him passed out somewhere
In the basement.
Yeah.
I think he's in the same box that he was in.
Okay.
Before, so he must be in the rave warehouse.
And she's just like cleaning up after all. Okay, that makes sense.
That's got to be.
Even though she's a marketer, which amounts to putting up flyers and printing shirts. I'm not real sure why she'd be in the basement of a bar, but whatever.
Whatever.
Marketers.
Yeah. So she takes him home to
seemed like
dry
she
him
gave
out.
in a little bit too easy to me in that. I don't know. Kind of inconsistent with not on her acting part, but just on the story and the script.
I mean, I think it goes back to the acting part in that Christina Applegate seems too put together for this role. Like, and if she'd been again the more like Lisa Kudrow, so everything's so free, I would believe a lot more that sort of person would see somebody like that and say, oh, there must be good in them. I'm going to take them, this homeless person who tried to steal money from me, I'm going to take them back into my house. To me, it just doesn't work because Christina Applegate's not like particularly well cast in it. And also because it's dumb. But
well, the whole thing is dumb. I mean, she does have two males who are they her roommates or something?
They live in the building.
Yeah, I thought they were just.
That's what they say, and they each have separate rent. And
Geek is not very intimidating. Neither is the other guy really, but like
what's crazy though is you've got all the people that are living there, and immediately it's the landlady's like, "What's he doing on the couch?" It's like, "Oh well, he's just staying here long enough to get sober." And the friends and the landlady are like, "Okay,
yeah,
cool,
yeah,
that's totally cool."
And nobody ever has a problem with him being there. Like when he first meets the roommates, they just run into the bathroom and like throw a robe on him.
New roommate, we've been waiting for one, man. Hell yeah, dude.
I hope you've got your rent at the first because the landlady's real tough.
Yeah, no, we don't get any of that.
No.
So now we've got a long period of, man, I don't even know like the specifics. He sobers up.
He's in the bed with the shakes. I love that.
He's got the
trope.
shakes. He begins kind of getting closer to Christina Applegate. He helps her put up flyers, and that's when they're being all flirty.
That comes because he helps her put it up whenever you just need a job to get sober?
Yeah.
So now he's helping her as part of it's his job.
Well, okay.
Now, whatever.
Give him some sort of purpose.
I'll give you some money. Come help me out.
Yeah.
Although it seems like getting a guy with two artificial hands to hang flyers might not be the most efficient choice.
Well, she's already in love. We heard the music, Zoe. We heard the music. She's in.
Yeah, clearly.
She buys him new clothes, and while going to put up flyers, they go to put up flyers for this rave show at what seems like a very stuffy piano shop.
Yes.
Yeah, which I don't know if, I guess you're just putting up flyers everywhere, but I feel the people frequenting that establishment would have no interest in the sort of music.
Out, so it's just for people on the sidewalk to, more. Plus, it's techno, So really,
nobody has any interest.
They just
in
want
that.
the flyer up where, you know, the more times you can see it, the more times you can choose not to go to the show. You know, so, fair enough. So the piano.
So he sees a piano, one of those self-playing pianos.
Yep.
A player piano, and he's like, "That's it. That's the answer." Oh.
What's the answer?
I'm taking a free videotape to discover it. I'll be right back. And so he fumbles the videotape out and he leaves. And apparently that's all Geek needs to advance prosthesis for like a decades into the future.
So the Pentagon would be proud of that robot suit.
Yeah.
This is where my problem with the film comes in.
Oh, this is where.
This is the moment.
Had me up until now.
You're so sure you know where the film's going. You know, we'll call it a movie. Let's just call it a movie.
Yeah, we're definitely not calling it a film.
Okay.
This flick.
This accidental pick by Doug. I think he thought it was another movie. So my problem is not that he's a guy with no hands that knew how to play music and it's suddenly like, aha, all I have to do is record all these notes one at a time like a normal techno guy does, and then just loop record it and then get on stage and I'll be the hype guy. I'll pretend like I'm playing, like they do. Best concert I saw in my life. That's a laptop, whatever, man. You know, it's like, do you get that hyped at the fucking coffee shop? You know,
Yeah.
Oh my God, he's writing that report on the computer. Hype, whatever, you know. I've said it before and I've said it again. I'm glad there's a lot of people I don't want to be around in my life, and I'm glad there's a genre of music for them. So that I don't bump into them at the same bar on a Friday night. They get to have the time of their life, and I don't have to make fun of them while they're doing it. So it works out for all of us.
Yeah.
But
we just want them to sell us
not-
their drugs.
This flick could have easily just gone with, I'll record it and I'll make music again. I'm a classically trained pianist. They get to do all these things. They could do that. Fuck no. We got to have pre-programmed hands.
Robot hands, baby. Which is my second funniest part, when they're like, play a simple melody. Then he plays a melody with his fake hands, and then they're like, okay, now watch. And it's all of them. Oh, and you see the hands, these massive robot hands. They just go like, wow. Oh my God. Which that is far more realistic of what that guy could put together. It is
Also,
like
what the hands are doing
is not playing what he's doing. No.
I'm like,
No.
you've got a long road. No, this is not. All right, man.
Then we hit playback.
I'm gonna play.
True sensory awakening.
It's alive! It's alive! It's alive!
Which this part of the movie is bizarre because they keep setting up the idea that like music was very important to him. He could play. And so I thought, okay, so he plays on the piano, it records into his thing, and then the hands will just make the motion of the notes he was playing. But they never actually show him doing that, like making the recording.
Did
they
you
always
not
just show
see
him
shredding on the guitar in the opening scene?
You're right. He's
What else do you need?
amazing.
He can do it.
I
he
just
knows
feel-
the goddamn pentatonic. He
Oh,
can
yeah.
do it, man.
He can rock that pentatonic.
It just seems like he's a musician in the way I could be a musician. Like
that's
like
techno.
Eric was
That's
playing.
techno.
Oh, yeah, I guess it
That's
nails it. I
techno.
guess it understands it then.
You finally, the movie hit its target. Home run, man. They get it.
Yeah, so he never really plays or creates music ever, really. It seems like.
Or if he does, it's very fuzzy and unclear
Well,
to me
it
as
just
well.
never shows him actually doing it. He would have to compose, right? Like with verbally, because you couldn't play the piano with those hands like that. And so,
and I guess you just have to
Just
pre-record.
get Simeon to fucking play it, and then he's like, "Oh yeah, I'll just do that with the hands." So yeah, I guess you're right. I guess it's just totally what it is.
The whole process makes one. It's bad enough imagining that those big old fingers are gonna do. They got felt tips though.
Felt
We are
tips,
informed
yeah.
they have
Soft
felt tips,
touch.
that he's gonna be playing all those notes, but that is too much pressure to have to be hitting the CBG. I mean, the timing's gonna be right.
Yeah.
But we haven't gotten to why it would be impossible for him to see that he's on the right notes.
I guess we
But-
should get to that. Very good.
With the FBI warning at the beginning of the show.
Yeah.
We should probably just throw in there that the views expressed by Jay are not those of the show. They do not reflect the beliefs of the show holders. That's just, we probably need that at the beginning, because
I think the people have known that since you backed Man of Steel.
who backed Man of Steel? I said it's watchable. You know what else is watchable? Me masturbating. All right? Who trusts my opinion, all right?
I'd rather watch you masturbate.
I don't know, man.
I get really into it.
It's got Michael Shannon, though.
I mean, I'm always down for that.
Actually, both of them have Michael Shannon.
Yeah, clearly.
It's fine.
Clearly.
It's fine. So anyways, back to the keyboard. And he's going to program, and he gets the show. So Christina Applegate is going... You've messed me up on that. Oh, man.
Mission successful.
Aguilera. Christina Applegate goes in and asks the sleazy bar manager, promoter...
Barry.
Barry.
If he'll allow him to be on the bill. And then from there, he's only says he'll do it if she'll sleep with him.
Yeah.
Not just sleep with him, be with him. So it's not even like a Harvey Weinstein. It's like, you got to be in a relationship. So that's like, I don't know, just creepy. I mean, that's like a new level of creep.
Another.
You mean I have to be in a relationship with you to get this guy on second in a 5-man techno bill? How good is he laying it down, man?
And how little do you think of me and what I've got?
No way, man.
Can I break up with you immediately?
You want to get laid, Barry? Go fuck yourself.
Which again, like a moment of conflict started. This should be intense. This guy's a sexual predator.
Nah, she walks
we're
off.
just gonna drop that. He's gonna be pretty funny from here on
And
out.
then his buddy, the roommate guy, happens to be outside, comes in and calls him an asshole, rightly so.
Yes.
And which is the most honest scene in the film. Is him calling him out. And but nothing's resolved about him being put on the bill, as far as I remember. And then he's on the bill.
Yeah. He gets the big show.
And he shows up in an outfit that looks like... Well, first it's a big hype. There's the first DJ we watch, which is... I imagine if you're into electronic music... Well, first off, if you're into electronic music, you probably would be debating over whether drum and bass is better than house music, and would have a real problem with how this floats in the middle 90s wash of techno. But for us laymen's, we have to watch a fifth person, so I would assume that for techno people, it's like, hell yeah, there's another person I like. Whatever.
Moses on acid is so
Seems like they got
awesome.
real artists, Oh, actually, my favorite, most agreeable moment in the film is when somebody mentions it being music and art as two separate things. Like you need to find yourself by getting into, well, you've got your music or art. And I was like, at least they're not trying to sell us as artists, They
were just talking specifically to the other DJs.
I was glad I didn't have to hear that. That's where the We Are Friends really starts settling.
Yeah.
It's like, they're really going to hype this up as being a thing. I mean, and if we're being honest, if it was a movie about singer-songwriters playing coffee shops, it'd be equally as atrocious. Same sort of thing. So it's,
just fewer beats per minute.
I don't even think the movie is that, like, connected to that.
Have you ever listened to Jason Mraz? He plays fast, okay? He plays so fast that Jack Johnson can't keep up, okay?
Oh, wow. I'm learning a lot this week.
I don't. Anyways, so he plays the show, shows up in his full outfit,
Mm-hmm.
which looks like a bad guy from Arrow.
Yeah, or like the Guyver. I just kept thinking that like he's Daft Punk. He's starting all of that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what it made me think of. Is like
I
this
was
is where...
not going to disrespect Daft Punk.
I mean, I don't want to disrespect Daft Punk either, but he shows up dressed like a robot and plays his music.
Well, they just recently broke up, so I think it's okay.
Oh, okay, good.
Disrespect away if you want to.
But yeah, I kept thinking like, oh, shitty Daft Punk. This is perfect. It's like Daft Punk if the members of Daft Punk had no hands.
And they played different music that was really, really bad.
Yeah, so they physically couldn't play music.
Yes.
But they had the outfits. If Daft Punk just had the outfits, but didn't have the appendages to play music and had bad music tastes, they would be this dude.
Yeah.
Cyberstorm.
Yeah.
They would be Cyberstorm.
Cyberstorm.
Not the worst name.
Which they hype him up.
Yeah.
As being, oh man, it's so stupid stuff. They say the friendly.
Oh, from Friendly Space. Friendly, I wrote that one down.
Space.
Simeon, yeah.
I got that on the back. I know this is very exciting, all of us reading. From the outer reaches of friendly space. Is how he introduces him at one point.
I lost $20 to you. I told you couldn't read. Great. Yes, that hype line is
so good.
Friendly space. I think we have to remember that MySpace exists. I guess I don't.
Oh, dude, it's just the cosmic. It's just the cosmic.
I mean, it's like limousine riding, kiss stealing,
wheeling, dealing, son of a gun. Woo! Nature boy.
It really, his outfit looks like an episode of WB where they're going to watch the big techno DJ and then they get in the Peach Pit or wherever they're at on shows on the WB, and there's all this smoke and this guy in this stupid fucking
It's
looks like a bad guy from Power Rangers or something.
Yeah.
That's just awful.
But the crowd fucking loves it.
Fucking hyped.
Yeah, and more than playing music, which as we've learned he doesn't do.
Right.
He dances.
Oh, he does.
Man, he gets down in that
How
robot
can you dance
suit.
with pre-programmed fingers?
You program that in.
It takes talent. It takes a lot of talent.
He knows, like when he starts dancing, all of a sudden the fingers just. I've missed my cue. I gotta get my wrists back in the right place.
And
so
the Star's Born.
Yeah. Even
Yeah.
Barry has to admit that the kids love this guy, and so he gets to go on tour from there, right?
Yeah, he gets
Like
this.
immediately, no other conversation is had.
And it's like a 2.5 minute set. I'm like, wow, is that all you have to do?
And again, the way they resolve, again, the easiest resolution for everything, the way they resolve the whole manager trying to force her into a relationship with him is he goes, oh, that guy's great. Can we get him on tour? And then Simeon goes, well, I don't know. He's Anamika. He's Anamika's friend. You better ask her. Ah, shit. And that's it. That is how it is resolved. Eat your heart out, Me Too. That's how you deal with things in the real world. But yeah, it's just like every conflict has the easiest resolution to it throughout. So he's on tour.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cyberstorm hitting the fucking road.
Which they talked before about it being a 7-show tour that the one guy was going on. I'm assuming that's the same tour that he's going on. Which I just want to put an asterisk in that. People who talk about it being a tour.
Okay, 7 cities does not qualify as a tour.
3 weeks doesn't count as a tour. That's I had to ask my fry cook job if they wouldn't fire me for what period of time, and that's how long we go out on the road. I mean, it's cool. It's good. You get better.
Yeah.
And it's awesome. You meet people and you do all these things. But we're a touring band.
You're not really touring at that point.
Yeah. Like I'm going to side with the sound guy on this one. Fuck off. You're not a touring band. You drove through Texas to California and all the states between and got back here. Oh, cool, I mean, yeah, don't disrespect touring bands. So anyways, now it's a video game.
Yeah.
7 tours, we see 7 flyers. And each one, he starts off with Cyber
going up it.
Cyber Tracker?
Cyberstorm.
Cyberstorm. Cyber Tracker's that...
That's like a security thing.
No, it's the ripoff of Terminator.
Oh, yeah, with Michael
Don the Dragon Wilson.
I think Michael Paray's in that one.
Man, oh
that one was really
that
not
one.
good.
That one's a black hole.
But so you see the first flyer, Cyberstorm, cool font,
dude, dope font.
Actually, the font's fine. Whatever, fucking who cares? We could shit on a million things. Somebody made those flyers, and that's better than I feel about the guy who wrote the script. So
it's not a metal poster, so we
because
can't
you can
read
read
it.
the letters.
We can read it.
You can read the letters. There's no inside jokes in techno. You know? A rant
Except
for
the
another
music
day.
itself.
So the second show, he's like third up from the bottom, and then the next one he's got like a bigger font. And he's second,
different colors,
and then in Woodbury. Is that the town name?
I think you're right.
Woodbury, he's the top dog, and he's like 5 sizes the biggest.
He's got a picture of him up there.
So in
Moses on acid has been kicked to the bottom.
Poor Moses.
So in a week,
7 shows.
in a week's time on tour, he has now become the thing.
He has taken the top place.
Yes.
Not only has he become the top thing, but his relationship with Christina Applegate has started for real, because we just get a couple of scenes of them standing off to the side of a show, and at first they're just talking close, and then they're kissing. That's how their relationship starts. There's no dialogue or anything.
Now, when we see Woodlawn or Woodbury or whatever, it's
whatever the fuck it is.
We get the ominous, he's distracted. He can't have a conversation. And she's asking really deep questions like, if you weren't playing music, what would you be doing?
Do you want an orange or a banana?
Is wheat bread okay with the tuna sandwich? You know, and he's so distracted.
He's very deep.
And we know what's coming, but nobody else there seems he's dreading coming home because he's been gone for years.
Yeah, that is definitely how I read it at this point. He's been gone for years, and he has not contacted his seemingly very sweet, supportive dad. Yeah, he's just been ghosted.
So
Ghosting.
the only thing that makes sense about the month time, because this is the perfect moment to mention it, is that the newspaper article that he carries with him in his wallet after all this time is pristine.
Pristine.
And he's got it out, as I assume he does every night. It's on the nightstand next to his bed. His rock band local here. What does it say?
Local band on hot track.
Local band on hot track.
With his picture, black and white, just his picture. I'm sure the rest of the band loved that. Oh, I'm just one of the out of focus guys. That's all them. But you know, I mean, they should have bought a Strat too.
Yeah,
you know,
man.
if you wanted attention, shouldn't have learned to play bass. So, anyway,
and a picture of his old girlfriend. And he's still also just holding on to.
Yes, with her name and phone number on the back of it.
Yeah.
Oh, and it says she's in a stewardess uniform for some reason, and on the back it says "Fly with me," and it's got her 555 telephone number.
Yeah.
That I missed.
Her school photo. I couldn't read it because of the quality of the video I saw. So I knew there was a number on there, but I had no idea what the rest of it was. But
So
anyway.
It says Wood Lawn or Berry, whatever it is. And his glory days. I mean, let's pretend he is from the Midwest, because that's Midwest type shit. Like, I sleep with the one time I made the cover for, you know, almost scoring a touchdown, and we nearly beat the state championship. Almost won that one.
I was dating this really hot girl in high school. This is her picture.
Yeah, she won't talk to me anymore because she actually has standards in a life now. But I banged her once. So,
yeah,
you know,
yeah. That number might still work.
I kind of own her. You know, I could call her up and tell her that she belongs to me, you know. My feelings about the Midwest are about the same as techno. And, you know, that's fine.
So it's perfect. All the people you don't like have a place to go and a music to listen to.
Yeah. Oh, the two are not.
Oh no,
they're not peas and carrots. No, they only listen to fucking. I don't know. I can't even think of a good band to shit on.
The sound of wind
Ted Nugent,
through like grass.
Talking about his political views, not even his music. You know.
I thought they just listened to like rusty windmills and.
Yeah.
Yeah, the sound of poverty.
What you got against Journey, man?
Same thing everyone does.
I'm just kidding. I needed to like pretend like I had some standard that goes against everything I'm shit on, but I'm so stick with everything sucks. So
we cut to his
he's
dad.
in the town, next to his bed, the town name, picture of him in his almost famous moment, and the pretty girl in a room he's sharing with his newly very close relationship.
Yeah.
With a babe.
Yeah, with a babe, a very supportive babe. Very cool in every way.
Cool in the fact that she doesn't kick homeless people.
Yeah.
And that she'll actually see the benefit in people. And if she liked you at that.
Yeah.
Dude, me getting fired for sleeping through the clock is going to fly just fine. Babe. You know?
I'm me.
I hit the snooze for 3 weeks. I'm sorry.
Cyberstorm can't wake up for a 9 to 5, baby.
Yeah, babe. I need you to sell a couple more shirts for me. I did take 20. I took it, but it's kind of mine.
I'll pay you back.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Oh, yeah.
These stumps are worth hundreds on the streets.
Oh, God. It's so distasteful for people with handicaps.
Yeah.
So anyways, so
we cut to his dad, who is answering another
noise
violation. Pulls up and oh shit, it's his own son. It's Cyberstorm himself, TJ, blasting music out of his little hotel room, and he meets his dad again.
He does it on purpose.
Yeah, he does it on
Seems
purpose.
that he got the cops called on purpose so his dad wouldn't show up.
Knowing that his dad is either the only cop in town or the only cop lowly enough on the totem pole to actually answer a noise complaint.
I just like to imagine 5 other cops had come through and he'd be like, no, send it to Lieutenant Carey. That's who I really wanted to send.
Once more, you guys are showing you're not from the Midwest. A no seatbelt ticket takes 5 cops to pull you over. And that's not a joke. Literally 5 cops. They need to justify everything. So he may have been the first cop there on the noise complaint, but there were 4 more on the way because that's what they do in towns where nothing happens.
Have something to do.
And they'll shake him down he would have got fined for not having permits for those guns he's carrying. Unlicensed animatronics, so they would have got him.
Parading without a license, man.
Dude.
So his dad, again, a conflict moment. Got the dad who loves him, is close to him, who he has really treated like shit by not calling and telling him, hey, Dad, I'm safe. I'm alive. A dad who really does not deserve that sort of attitude.
No, not at all.
No, he's been super solid. And so how this moment I was not excited for, but I was tense. This is a big moment of conflict. That's all right. Hey, you're cool. Let's hug.
The dad shows himself to be the same as he was.
Yeah, he's just a good guy.
He's just
problems?
Nah. And this guy is a cop. Like, cops are trained to ask questions and investigate, and none of this well, where have you been, son? Why didn't you call me? Do I have any grandkids? No, just none of that.
Yeah, you're looking pretty good. Why the fuck didn't I get a phone call?
A
2
postcard,
years ago.
something?
Says the long story.
Yeah, I will talk about it afterwards. I've got a gig tonight, Dad, so I can't talk long. Why don't we meet up after the concert and we can go over, the years I was a shitty homeless person and probably did some really awful stuff.
Even though it's 30 days and...
I mean, maybe. I don't know. That phone call, he said it's been gone a month, but then we cut. Who knows how much time it was gone in between there. But yeah, so, hey, cool. Keep rocking. Thanks, son. Glad to know you're alive.
And he says, Cyberstorm, I gotta see this.
Yeah. And that's it. That's the end of that conflict. We did a nice little bow on that. Don't need any problems.
So then we get to...
the sound check.
So, this is where I started getting these little warm tinglies of Young Warriors.
Oh, man.
Man, I thought we were getting there. I was like, okay, this movie is going to do it. It's really, and from the moment you see the security guys, as we come to find out, are the guys who killed his hands in the car, destroyed his hands. Who put that mic there? And
Jay's got too many hands.
So, they're working the club. He does the sound check.
Well, he does the sound check. The girlfriend shows up. telling him that, again, this could be a something. We've got a conflict here, which I thought also was like, really? Like, fucking been gone all this time? I imagine she's moved on. But no, the movie, we've got a conflict. They meet up, they hug, they say, it's good to see you. I'm glad you're doing well. I've missed you. I'm sorry.
It's a long story. We'll catch up later.
We'll catch up. Good kiss on the cheek. And then she goes out to her new boyfriend who's outside the car, and that's it.
He drives an SUV, so he's a solid guy.
So he's totally legit.
He's got a white button up, so
she's got a complete 180 from the cop's kid.
Yeah.
And that's that. So good. They've met up, but Christina Applegate sees them.
She's jealous. Even though at this point the girlfriend says, Cyberstorm says, what are you doing here? And I guess my dad called you. And she's like, well, actually a woman called me. So we know it's Christina Applegate. No. And so I guess she just believes that, hey, this guy's girlfriend from his past life, he's not going to want to be with me anymore. He's going to pick her. But no, not really.
No.
They hug. They have a little peck on the cheek. And then...
well, maybe it's the fact they're back in the Midwest. You're always back with your high school sweetheart, right? That's who,
She knows.
She knows how it goes.
Yeah.
Like in New York, we had a chance, but the law of the land here.
I can't compete with these Midwest women.
She should have just asked him how many kids they'd had yet. And when he said 0, it's like, oh, yeah, well, you guys got 2 divorces in you. I'll be around. See you in a couple weeks,
So Christina Applegate's upset. Again, a conflict set up.
How long does that last?
Well, she walks past him and he goes, hey, if you keep poking around in my life, this is what you're going to get. Well,
it gives her a kiss.
And that's it. So good. Again, just a nice, this bow is done really fast and good.
So then they're going to they have plans for dinner, but he begs off for mysterious reasons.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, okay, whatever, see you later.
Yeah.
And then he goes off to go construct a sonic weapon?
Well, yes. I want to point out when he sees the security guards, is that not totally Kill Bill before Kill Bill? He it doesn't do the orange thing or play the Ironside theme, but he looks around and it goes
That's why they're selling the shirt
that's
on
the
back.
Tarantino connection a decade ahead of time.
Yes.
But yeah, he looks at him and it's all of a sudden starts playing music out of rock music out of nowhere as it pans to him. I was like, Young Warriors, this could be badass. Sadly, I had seen how they'd done everything else. I assumed it was going to be not much of anything.
Okay, yeah. So there's a Kill Bill moment, and then he gets the bright idea to construct a sonic, a sonic weapon. How did that work?
Well, it's the thing that the geek had. It's the Tesla earthquake machine that Geek had, because Geek gives it to him before he goes on tour.
So
constructs it. He just decides he'll use it pretty much.
He sees a stagehand or somebody that works the venue, and he says, "Hey, Bill." It's the guy. It's a different guy. Says Bill said to set up a bunch of cheese and beer in the basement, and then tell the security guys to go ahead and go on their break. Oh, Bill, fucker, they got it easier than we do. It's a little back and forth. So the whole setup makes no damn. This is the worst.
He's trying to get him drunk and full of food so that his sonic weapon will be more effective, or is he just trying to lure him there in the first place?
He just thinks there's so lowly of them that he knows if food and beer's around, they won't ever leave the room.
Yeah, just getting him to a place. And then which he barricades.
Yeah.
With a 2x4.
With the 2x4 that it has the door has the perfect struts for it or whatever those are, holders to put the thing in there. I thought at this point that this movie was going to take a wild 180 degree turn.
This is where I said Young Warriors, where it's
he's going to fucking avalanche the entire rave just to bring it down on top of him. Because all we've seen of this box is that it causes earthquakes in enclosed spaces.
I was even going as far as it was going to cause a rock and roll high school mouse head explosion.
Oh, that would have been amazing.
It's going to be a bloodbath. It's this guy's supposed to be, he proves again that he's really not that great of a guy, even though, it's 50-50 on him. He's no worse than any of us, I guess.
No, the only bad things he's done has been desperation moves while he's been homeless, which I think we all can understand.
Yes.
Yeah. And so, he locks him in and then puts the earthquake thing
in the room,
in
around
like
the
a
room.
in like a vent, I think is where it is, and then just
plugs it
kicks
into his own
on.
soundboard or something.
Yeah,
how
kicks
did
it
that
So
on.
while he's playing, and he gets into the crowd's going wild.
Dude, they're loving
They've
that
never seen
Cyberstorm.
anything as shitty as this before in their life. You know? And he hits the pedal, which is an A/B switch for amps, I believe, is what he does. And the B switch is for fuck these guys. Which is like, dude, he's going to be killing these guys.
I guess.
But he's going to have an alibi. That's my thoughts. And then you're going to have to deal with, well, why were the security guys down there in the first place?
Why is their
You
door
know?
barricaded?
And I figured he'd end up arrested. That's the direction I thought this was going to go. But I also thought we had another 15, 20 minutes left in. No, we're about 2 minutes away from
Yeah, yeah.
at the button pushing moment. And
it hurts their ears
a little bit. And
They're
then
they're falling around trying to break out, and I guess it hurts their ears so bad that they can't do anything at a certain moment. They just kind of lay down and go.
Yeah, they're just writhing around in pain.
And somebody finally busts the door open.
Well, he unplugs it. He decides.
Why does he unplug it?
He doesn't want to kill them.
I think this is actually much dumber than once. Okay, so just to finish it out.
He's trying to.
He sees his dad. He unplugs it, and then they are like, "Oh, let's get out of here!" And they bust down the door, and they run out. And he's on stage. He rips off his mask, so everybody can see that. Oh, he's not really a robot. He's just a dude.
My heart was broken. I thought he was really a robot.
Oh, you're just that guy from Twin Peaks. And so he he sees his dad. And he just sees the security guards running out, going, "Oh!" And he's like.
Yeah, that is some of the worst pantomime you will ever see on a screen. Like,
how anybody fucking got that?
But the dad got it.
He got it
it's
immediately.
A dad's son bond. It's a
Instantly.
father-son bond.
Fair enough. Fair
You know?
enough. Yeah.
So
and his dad goes and he's like, "I'm going to question you," and then he does. He questions them.
Can an off-duty cop arrest the whole security staff of a rave?
Citizen's arrest. Citizen's arrest.
Yes, I'm going to say yeah. I'm going to say if you come from a small enough town, a cop always has authority, whether or not he's in.
Maybe
uniform
that's
The cop
or
is
not.
never off duty.
Maybe that's more that Midwest magic we've been alluding to.
Small town Texas. I could attest that exists there.
Yeah,
where
that's true.
If the cop doesn't matter if he's on duty or not, he tells you to stop doing something. You should probably stop it
And
because he has consequences backing him up.
And he is armed whether he's on duty or not.
I
that's
think
just
if
Texas.
you're off
Almost
duty, you have to
always.
call somebody that's on duty.
Yeah.
Because we passed this guy I knew, Levi. He passed a cop one time doing like 130 and a 45, and it was a detective that pulled us over. It was unmarked and everything.
Just happened to be the closest,
And
I
he pulled
guess.
us over, and the reason that he let us go was that that the nearest cop was so and so far away, and he was off the clock and wasn't going to wait for him to get there. I don't know if that's how it always is, but that's my experience with it. Is that they can't take you in.
Yeah. So let's just assume that they. I mean, who knows? Because he literally he goes, "Hey, y'all don't go anywhere. I'm going to talk to you," and then Cyberstorm gets off the stage, throws the old arm around Christina Aguilera.
I don't think he actually even gets off the stage.
He's just off the
I
stage
think he's like on the
immediately.
second step, walking down with his arm around her. Then the credits.
The credits just fucking go. Let's get out of here.
And it's
Get out of
quick.
here.
It's like not even.
We're done here.
Which again is like a perfect, exactly how the movie's gone. Oh, conflict? Nope. Done. So I think I don't really know what he's doing with the earthquake machine thing, because at first I thought that he saw his dad and then he had found his morality again. It was like, oh, I can't kill them, but it doesn't even seem like it's really killing them. I think it's dumb. I think it's really dumb. I think the whole plot.
He just wants them to be in pain.
No, I think it's like a trap. Like he needs them to be disoriented, so that way when his dad gets there, who he knows is coming there, they'll be more they'll all be together and they'll be like disoriented, so his dad can just like get them real quickly.
Being disoriented, they've drank like 30 beers.
They've been down there they were down there before the concert started, and we know he's the headliner.
How did they just figure out the doors locked?
That's what I kept thinking. He got bladders like a fucking horse.
I've worked with some shitty people, but I've never had the like, oh, we went through 2 cases, so we need a beer run. Wait, we're on the clock. I've never been through that. I've never been through that. And they're not even hiding it.
No.
Like if you're on the clock, like you tuck the beers behind something, I assume, you know, I mean, if I ever drank on the clock.
Yes.
You know,
That's how you would do
you
it.
know, you toss them
somewhere.
You toss them in the lake or wherever you're at, you know?
Well, speaking of which, to go back to your point about avoiding conflict, did you notice how there was this weird emphasis on anti-drugs raves and no alcohol was allowed? And I'm just like, what the hell kind of rave are you talking about? I never went to one, but I heard plenty of stories.
Is this in Woodlawn?
This was all the ones that Christina Applegate through wherever they were, because remember there was the scene where when the dude went to give the t-shirts back earlier on, the bouncer took his booze and was like, no alcohol, no drugs, and you better be out of here.
I thought they were just telling him that because he's homeless, like.
But he said no alcohol, no drugs, and then
alcohol.
there's another scene where the welder lady, I think, is attending one of them, and she's drinking like mango juice, and she's like, I can't believe I'm drinking mango juice.
Yeah,
in a
she
rave.
does hand it. Oh yeah, the little green
It
juice.
seemed like a weird Lifetime movie vibe of like, these are ravers and they're kind of kooky, but they don't do drugs. And the one guy drank, but then he quit, and it was okay now. Did anybody else pick up that vibe?
I did not, but that fits with the movie. Yeah, or just there is no B.
Is the movie PG? They might have just literally been looking.
Rated R.
There's no way, really.
Swear to God.
I guess the 90s we were all just wimps.
Oh, and that's another good point. Is there
Tipper Gore won on this one?
Has there ever been a movie that was just more blatantly 90s, just 90s than this one, man? The stupid hats, the weird score, so much more.
I don't want to throw out. This one's coming real soon.
Oh God!
And Freedom Deep's more 90s. Freedom Deep is more 90s.
Okay, yeah. But it's also more Australian.
Okay, all right. I didn't know it had to be American. So.
There's
also, why did you pick a non-Canadian film, Zoe?
Well, you got to mix it up a little bit, man. Can't be bashing on the Great White.
You thought it was Canadian, didn't you? You thought it was Canadian. You're like,
I did look up the filming locations.
He's looking at the credits like, oh, I fucked up.
Make fun of America,
Actually,
not on my watch.
Geek did sound like he had a little bit of a Canadian accent, but
You're
no.
stretching.
I realized this was a non-Canadian movie. If this was a Canadian movie, I'd be wearing my Victoria, British Columbia shirt.
If it was a Tuesday, you'd be wearing that shirt.
I don't know. It says countries of origin, U.S. and Canada.
I know. I saw that too. but if you watch the credits closely, it was pretty clearly filmed in New York City and New Jersey, because they were thanking the film office of New York. I didn't see Canada in there at all. So I don't know why IMDb tries to tease me with Canada-ness regarding this movie.
Well, I also don't know if just a movie shooting in Canada makes it Canadian.
No, it's got to be a production company.
Well, it is, because you have to use a certain amount of local crew, local hire for the actors.
Yeah, but I feel like a lot of that is, I mean, I don't know, that's not a discussion for this. Yeah. So, I guess it could be. Like, you just get a lot of the technicians, but all the creative people and the money is all in America. I mean, like...
Lord of the Rings isn't a New Zealand film.
There you go. That's a good point, even though they hired a ton of them.
But Lord of the Rings doesn't have a bunch of people with Canadian accents that just...
But it has New Zealand
rub me
accents.
the wrong way. Well, New Zealand accents are cool.
I don't... okay. I don't know how the metaphor slipped, but whatever.
His case is against Canada. Forever and always.
Yeah.
The Canadian film industry, not the whole country, not all the countries.
I don't know when they wronged him.
Yeah.
From day one, man.
I don't know why they wronged him.
From day one, they've been wronging me.
But anyways.
Cronenberg's cool.
For a non-Canadian techno film.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's a 4.8.
Cool.
4.8? Had a 4.5 when I looked earlier. What'd you give it?
So which speech did you think was more cringeworthy? Simeon's speech about how groovy, like, do you know anything about techno? That whole bit.
So, do you know anything about techno?
No.
Watch.
See, the idea is to get the vibe going. Then you maintain the vibe with a trance-inducing bass and the right lights. See, we're primal, heading for cosmic. Just when you think we're in galactic ecstasy, we go acid. It's hardcore neutronic mutilation. Now we get serious. See, we're going on a psychotically calibrated, electronically executed, digitally compressed, pulse-excreting journey through sonic grooviness. The world is coming to an end, but we don't care. Because we're moon-tan nocturnal, vinyl-consuming animals drifting easy through friendly space and analog trance. Nothing can doom this groove. We're controlling the vibe, manipulating the madness, sucking in the energy. Our cosmic nerve endings are telling us how to move, what to do, where to go, and then we know. Yeah, it's time. Let's go!
Or Christina Applegate's a whole a pontification on the nature of Generation X.
Oh, that's the great thing about our generation.
What generation is that?
Generation X. Generation without a name. And we don't need a name. We have no attention span. We have no wars, no jobs, no unifying event. We just are.
Yep, the boomers suck the world dry.
Sound pretty bitter.
No, we're not bitter. We're just realistic. We don't need to blame anybody. We just want to improve what's here. The other stuff's already been done.
Yeah, I mean, except for Star Trek, there are no new frontiers waiting to be explored. Nothing new to invent, nothing we really need, right?
I'd rather explore the space inside my brain. I mean, it's the only place really worth exploring, if you ask me.
Yeah, but how do you do that?
Through self-examination, expression, through art and music. I mean, the answer isn't just up in here. It's in here.
Oh, I loved that one. What I loved about the Generation X one is that it was all this like whatever. Oh, y'all still hate boomers. So I guess that's just eternal. That's eternal through all the generations.
Yeah. Yep.
I was surprised they even had that phrase back then.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they were still making like worm films about baby boomers.
Yeah.
Well, they've just been called baby boomers. I guess.
Baby boomers, yes, but not boomers.
Did they just call them boomers?
Yeah.
I guess it's been around forever.
At least since the 90s.
Yeah.
They've been a problem. They've been a problem. They will be a problem.
Getting the man down every time.
It's okay. Not for much longer. So yeah, that's the end of our movie.
So, anybody have any favorite quotes they wrote down? Care to share?
I was gonna write down that speech he gives hyping him up, but we'll put that in the video right about now.
Get ready for some hardcore! We got something new that's gonna bash your brains, free your mind, and put you into a heavy trance. His home is friendly space. His sound will crush your core, jackhammer your heart, send you through hell. It's Cyberstorm!
How about you?
No, I think I already said mine. Basically what Jay was going for, the outer reaches of friendly space, or the fucking lame thing he says.
We are about to embark on the total rave head trip. He's on a digital mission of metallic madness and rhythmic badness. Hold on to your hearts or I'll shake it loose with a quake of vibrotonic proportions. You do not need drugs to go on his ultimate groove. Because he is from the outer reaches of friendly space. Cyberstorm's in the house!
Oh yeah, I was writing as fast as I could, but I could not keep up with the cheesy crap that was spewing out of that guy's mouth.
Or maybe early on when his friend says, "Does this have something to do with your wiener?"
Yes.
That was pretty good.
That's a really good one. Obviously there's, stumped, I know I am. That's a winner. But I think my favorite line, and I forget who said it or when, but one of them says to the other one, "Whoa, that's messed up." I think that is the line that's...
You wrote that down?
Epitomizes this movie, yeah.
All right. It's right there. That's messed up.
It's a hard one to remember.
Anything else before we let this turkey go?
Where does this fall on the cool or dull?
Cool
or dull list?
I'm going to put it pretty far on dull. I actually think this is my least favorite type of bad movie, in that there's like this line of bad movies, and if they're too bad, then they're walk like a man.
Yeah.
But this is the one where it's just not bad enough. That's how I see it. Like, the actors are all competent. They do fine. They clearly have a budget. Like, those rave scenes are filled with people. They got
that costs
lights.
money.
Like, it's clear they have the money to make it. They have the crew and equipment to make it look enough like a movie. There's a plot that advances, that has setups and payoffs.
There's a main character.
There's a main character.
There's a love
like,
interest.
it's just not bad enough. It's just not a good movie. It's just not good. It's not, or it's just bad. It's not notably bad. That's how I feel about it. So I put it, it's definitely not Walk Like a Man unwatchable, but I'd put it probably just like a step above that in terms of enjoyment, and it's probably would be near the top in terms of like
It's like
craft.
a little less than Invisible Child.
Yeah.
I would say between Invisible Child and Walk Like a Man's where I would put it.
Yeah, that seems about right.
Turbulence 3 is better than this movie?
Yeah, because Turbulence 3 is legitimately like bad at times, like,
and it's energetically bad.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I don't know.
To me, that's just how I see it. It's not bad enough. It is enough like a normal movie. It's just not a good normal movie. And that's not what we're searching for. We're searching for the movies that feel like they're made by aliens.
This is a film that the problem, unless the bunch was cut out, which I doubt, the script is exactly what the director shot, and it's exactly what you get.
Yeah.
And it's not a weird script, it's a safe script. Really, the only thing that even offers anything at all is the choice of techno music.
Yeah.
And him being a musician. It could have been, any type of thing where you lose both hands,
Mm-hmm. And even that stuff's not like so cringy. It's just kind of like We Are Your Friends is like the cringy side of that. This is it's just there. It's like everything in the movie. It's just there. It's done competently enough.
The being an amputee part is done tasteless, but
never too tasteless.
It's just insensitive. It's not like Tiptoes.
It's not the Tiptoes level. Yeah, I was just about to say. On behalf of...
Or riding the bus with my sister.
Yeah.
Mentioned before, where it's like, I mean, some people see the way it's handled as great, but
those are offensive.
Yeah.
This is not offensive. This is just, I guess, naive in how you actually like seriously take that. Again, it's just a very lukewarm bad movie. I don't know.
So I would not recommend anybody watch this.
No.
Literally, we watched it.
Revenge of the 90s, man. It ain't pretty.
No. But it is super, super frenzy.
Yeah.
That's the odd thing that you shouldn't be picking up on, but you are the entire time.
So I had a VHS cassette, obviously a not for sale copy. How'd you guys watch it?
YouTube.
Yep. So.
Anything else?
Nah, I think that's good.
We almost dodged this.
Y'all feeling the vibrations?
He tried putting this on for us, a couple weeks ago?
Yeah.
We were all like, no, we gotta go. I'll just watch this scene. I was like, we'd watched it before. We had watched it before.
We'd already watched another movie. Zoe, you get one.
Yeah, I watched that Boy in the Bubble ripoff.
Yeah.
Which is better than this one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Just for the pictures of the driveway alone.
Dude, it is called Off Topic.
That was a better movie.
I think a dry glass humping is pretty hot.
Well, I tricked y'all all into watching Vibrations. I feel like my work is done here.
R.
That doesn't make any sense.
No.
Nothing about this movie makes any sense.
Cussing?
No drug use. There's slight alcohol use.
Slight
Slight violence. Like barely any violence.
I thought I heard a fuck in there.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's definitely like one. But you should be able to get away with that.
That's still false.
I think in the 90s that was
just
the red line.
Now you can say like one and then whatever. Let's wrap this up.
Chit chat, dude. That's what it is. It's fucking chit chat, man.
How do we do that?
Zoe, what do you think about it?
Man, it's just like all the worst things about the 1990s got together and started multiplying and turned into a very lukewarm, very safe, very crappy movie. Christina Applegate looked like she was bored half the time. I can't say I blame her.
I know, I looked like I was.
Yeah, well, Vibrations, go feel them out there now if you dare.
We have to dance like him.
Yeah, you got to do the cyber.
What was it? Cyberstorm.
Dance. Do the Cyberstorm.
Somebody needs to make a good techno movie so that I'll give it a chance.
Slade Craven is Cyberstorm.
Ooh.
Took this crowd, this rave crowd, mixed them with the metal crowd from Turbulence 3. It would just be like, oh, y'all are a bunch of well-off fucking kids. I don't even know.
You guys watch The Craft too many times.